This is National Native News. I'm Antonia Gonzalez. A big win for a First Nation in Ontario. The Supreme Court of Canada has dismissed a request from the town of South Bruce Peninsula to appeal a lower court decision that granted a valuable section of beach to the Saugeen First Nation. As Dan Karpinchuk reports, the chief of the band calls the ruling like a breath of fresh air.
In April of 2023, the Ontario Appeal Court granted the First Nation ownership of just over a mile of sandy beach in the town of Sauble Beach. It's been a long fight. The case was brought before the courts 35 years ago, but that came nearly 100 years since Indigenous leaders claimed that a treaty in 1854 gave them ownership of the disputed shoreline. Conrad Ritchie is the chief of the Saugeen First Nation.
That's how resilient and patient our people have been to feel finally heard and seen and validated. You're holding your breath for such a long time, and it's like once you get the news, it's just like a breath of fresh air.
With the ruling to appeal now denied by the Supreme Court, the town of South Bruce Peninsula and several landowners appear to have exhausted all legal avenues to retain ownership. On Canada Day, the name of the beach was officially changed from Sauble Beach to Saugeen Beach by the First Nation. Here again, Chief Ritchie.
It kind of grooms society. It kind of grooms community. It kind of grooms children when you have a colonial name that's supposed to be the Indigenous people of that land and beach.
Now that the legal wrangling over ownership of the land has been decided, the next step is to discuss compensation with the federal government for breaking that 1854 treaty. Meanwhile, Ritchie says Saugeen Beach will continue to be open to the public as a tourist destination. For National Native News, I'm Dan Karpinchuk.
This past weekend, roughly 10,000 people converged on Bismarck, North Dakota, to drum, dance, and celebrate one of the region's oldest powwows. Senior reporter Brian Bull of Buffalo's Fire has the story.
It's going to be a good day here at the United Tribes Technical College International Powwow.
The 55th United Tribes Technical College International Powwow started modestly in 1970. A small group of students held it on a tennis court. But in the years since, it's exploded in scale and magnitude, drawing participants and visitors from all over, including Europe. UTTC President Leander McDonald says it's not only a cultural event, but a huge economic boost to the Bismarck area when combined with several other events like their sports tournaments.
And a previous study indicated $4.2 million for that week. Did another analysis, but we felt it was kind of off a little bit because they told us $1 million. And so now we're working with the Bismarck Band and Chamber here, and they have some folks that do analysis on just events on their own.
Historically, the UTTC International Powwow was also once the last call before winter, before indoor powwows and those in warmer climes took off. This year's event was covered live by Buffalo's Fire and Prairie Public, a statewide public media broadcast organization. For National Native News, I'm Brian Bull in Bismarck.
A bill to require the California Department of Transportation and Department of Public Health to work together to address countermeasures to deter suicide attempts on bridges and overpasses was sent to the governor's desk on Tuesday. Native American Assemblymember James Ramos introduced the bill as part of broader work to address mental health care in the state. Ramos says California must do more to confront the great tragedy of suicide, adding the new measure is intended to help prevent future sorrow. I'm Antonia Gonzalez.
National Native News is produced by Koahnic Broadcast Corporation with funding by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
Support by Saugeen Chambers Law, championing tribal sovereignty and Native American rights since 1976. From opioids litigation to treaty rights to tribal self-governance. With offices in Washington, D.C., New Mexico, California, and Alaska. Saugeen Chambers Law.
Now more than ever, the supporters of this and all Native One programs deserve a little extra love. Learn more about all our public radio underwriters and web-based sponsors at koahnic.org/supporters-spotlight.
Native Voice One, the Native American Radio Network.